Good morning and welcome to Milton Keynes, home of the Dons, and we're here at the Marshall Arena for something that bit special, the launch of the brand new BYD Sealion 7. I'm Ben Quirk, welcome to Planet Auto. This isn't BYD's first foray into electric vehicles. Already we've had 4 in the UK, the Dolphin, the Atto 3, the Seal, and now the Sealion 7. The thing is, it's not all electric cars either. You could go for Sealion, which is a hybrid. And yes, they are a Chinese brand. But that's a really good thing when it comes to EVs. Their technology, well, it's outstanding, but it's not surprising when you look back at the heritage of BYD. They started out with Nokia batteries in the early 90s and then realized we already have the battery technology, let's just build a vehicle around it. And the likelihood is you've already been in a BYD. Their electric buses have been running around London for years and years. BYD made their first electric vehicle in around 1995, and since then they've got stronger and stronger and stronger. And each one gets a little more advanced. I mean, you just see the way that the tech is just rolling out. For example, they've just come up with a mega kilowatt charging system, which, no word of a lie, gives you miles in seconds rather than minutes. It is staggering where BYD is heading. And they're now the biggest manufacturer of NEVs. Now, you've seen electric cars before, but where BYD models differ is, well, virtually everything. They're built on the E-Platform 3.0 and use an 18-1 powertrain, which includes the motors, the heat pump and the drivetrain. And it's not just the fact that it's 18-1, it's the fact that it's more compact. It's the perfect family SUV. Even has a range of up to 313 miles. And take it into the city and it'll easily outperform that. It's all singing and dancing, tech-loaded, LED lights, adaptive cruise control, dependent on trim, you can get things like heads-up display, bigger rims, and even dual motors. Now, one of the groundbreaking things of BYD is the fact that they've switched from classic EV batteries to blade technology. They're compact, they're lighter. Like Sealion uses cell to body. So the battery's actually built into the architecture of the vehicle. So it strengthens. And before you ask, yes, it uses the LFP battery as well. The range starts with the Comfort, and that's just under £47,000. Now, I say starts with, but when you look at the spec list, you won't believe it. For example, you get things like heated rear seats, a panoramic, even a heated steering wheel. And thanks to the 18-1 powertrain, all vehicles have a heat pump and it's high efficiency. They've even made the batteries so they cool themselves to a point because of the materials they use, or increase efficiency, if you will. If you like this type of video, why not subscribe to the channel? You just hit the button on the right hand side. It's free and you'll get an alert every time we upload. Also, if you do like the video, why not give it a like? It all helps and it means we can get more cars. Thank you. You also have the design trim, and that's just over 51,000. This is the excellence, and it is excellence in every way. Dual motors, around 530 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds. Napa leather. Choice of interior colour, heads-up display. This is quite literally all singing and dancing, and it's got everything you need. It even has the longer range, so a bigger battery of around 91 kilowatt hour. And this beast comes in at just under £59,000, which is still not a lot of money for a vehicle with this much range and this much tech. Also, it's dynamic, agile, and it's fun to drive. Mind you, that's not surprising. Just look at how much fun we had in Seal. Yeah, there's just something about BYD. You can kind of see why they're the top selling manufacturer, and they've overtaken legacy brand sales in the UK. Styling. Well, this is part of the Ocean series. So that includes Dolphin, Seal, and now Sealion. So this has the X-Face, which you can see the silhouette. It's a fresh, commanding look and features unique styling. For example, floating U-shaped LED headlamps. You've also got a little LED on the inside that aids cornering at low speeds. You can see ocean aesthetics throughout the design. For example, it looks a bit like the gills on a fish down here. The Sealion also features opening grates, which make it more efficient and offer more range, especially in colder climes. And it's got loads of safety too. Everything from adaptive cruise through to collision mitigation, lane keep assist, AEB, and the list goes on. Also parking sensors and a front camera. Consider it's a big SUV. It's rather efficient, but you can kind of tell that when you look at the design language. The way that the air flows up over the headlamps and then onto the bonnet. And then when you look at the rear, they've got the double wave effect as well. So the air arcs over From the side, it's super sleek. I mean, just look at the flow of the roofline. It's almost coupe-ish, but it still has all the practicality of a mid-sized SUV. Comes standard with 19-inch wheels, but we've got the 20s as we've got the top of the range. Also red calipers. Mind you, with 530 horsepower, you need to make a statement, even if it's just a little one. It maintains its SUV look with the black plastic cladding that wraps around the arches. I love the exaggerated flared fenders and the way it just chops down. It's nice to see curvature, but also sharp cuts. You also have a fair bit of space there too, which is perfect because ours is all-wheel drive. It's good to see that you've not got the lowest profile tyres, say like the Ferrari over there. Now it makes it look smart, but it's not ideal for a family SUV. So BYD have opted for a mid-range tyre, but it's still Michelin, so it grips like nobody's business. No, it's the perfect family SUV. Power folding door mirrors, and they're two-tone. The mirror caps are the same colour as the car, but there's touches of black as well. And it just makes the design stand out more. No less than 4 ways to get into the vehicle. You could have a card, you could have a wearable, you could have the fob, or you could just press the button. You can also add the key to your smartphone, and then you just tap the mirror. Now, as it's a fully electric vehicle, there's also an app available. So we recommend you download that and it'll just tell you pretty much everything you need about the car. State of charge. You can also check if the vehicle's locked and all that jazz. So I've got the key in the pocket and the door handle pops out. The door opens nice and wide. I mean, look at all the controls on the electric seat. The mix of materials and a decent door opening. Climbing in. Child's play. I need to dip my head fractionally. But that's it. It's very minimalist, but it's still got the identity that you've come to recognize from BYD. The way that everything flows, the revolving screen, the big cluster, the floating center console with the micro shifter. Nice. And a lovely leather wrapped steering wheel. Pretty much everything you touch is premium. I mean, just look at the door card. And there's your button for your power tailgate. Decent sized door pocket. Solid, proper clunk. And my seat's already started going forward. So yeah, fully electric, lots of adjustability and memory function. To start, you just press here. Now that's a fast startup system too. Scan the code, and then your phone will bind to the app. See, everything's straightforward. Nice high definition screen. And I can also change its orientation. As I said, it's revolving. Hello BYD, could you rotate my screen please?
Okay, rotating the screen.
Hello BYD.
Hello.
I'm feeling hungry.
I found these. Which do you want?
Now that's perfect. I think we'll have McDonald's, please.
I missed that. Try saying the list number.
Number 2 looks perfect.
All right. McDonald's. Starting navigation.
What's the weather like in London?
Currently it is sunny in London with a temperature of 15 degrees Celsius. Today it will be partly cloudy with temperatures between 2 and 17 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, she's rather intelligent. And it's that easy. The other clever thing about the infotainment is got a menu constantly at the bottom and it shows you climate control. So yeah, it's responsive, it's easy to use. I mean, it is RAM full of information, but it doesn't take long to get used to. They've even built in functionality so you can turn up the fans, also the temperature, by using 3 fingers, so you don't have to take your eyes off the cluster or the heads-up display. We've even got intelligent torque adaptation control. They've even tested these with the infamous Moose test. You've got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Google Assistant, over-the-air updates, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, ambient lighting, and you can have it so it goes to the beat of the DIN audio. Even at 28 volume, no distortion. That's a premium sound system. BYD aren't naive enough to think you want everything through the screen. They've put physical buttons in too. So you can turn off the infotainment system with this here. You've also got a toggle for the volume too. Now, it's not just music and functionality in here. You can also adjust your seating. You can see your energy manager. So you can choose from regenerative braking. You've got the motors at either end and then the battery. And then when you're traveling, you'll see all this, show you what's happening. So we can choose from standard regen braking or high, which will increase the braking. So it's not one pedal driving, but it does increase it. You've got your ADAS, so intelligent cruise control, your energy, charging and discharging, and then your energy consumption. So you can see exactly what your powertrain's doing. So you can change the charging limits and smart charging. You can even do Stingray karaoke. So you get your mic and you just sit there and sing. Why not? Home button here, dual chargers, easy to clean vents, modern futuristic styling, but with classic design cues. The thing is, it's not too confusing. It's not one of those cars you get in and go, whoa, I'm completely overwhelmed. It's all very straightforward. And even at 6'3" and 18 stone, it's not restrictive, which is great. And everywhere that your leg would rest is enveloped in a soft touch. There are some hard plastics in here, but they're quite hard to find. And even when you do find them, they're a good quality. That's it. I suppose it's the perfect balance. Mind you, they've been supplying cars to the UK for a while, and they listen to feedback. Cluster, nice and straightforward. You can see all the information at a glance. And if you've got the heads-up display, it's the same there. You see your range, you can see your tyre pressures. If you go through the screen, you can see cumulative AEC. We're getting currently 39.4 kilowatt hour per 100 miles. So I can see the music, the navigation on the right, and in the center you've got your adaptive cruise. You've got information all across the top. Driving modes here, you start, stop, you've got your shifter here, and also a park button. You don't even need to go through the screen to turn on the fans. Decent sized armrest, just big enough for Annabelle and myself, and underneath, yeah, that's pretty big too. Under our floating console, we've also got some USB charging ports and extra storage. Glove box, decent size. The seats, one piece, almost tombstoney, always a bonus for me. Comfortable, supportive, drivers and passengers both electrically operated, isofixes, and are heated and ventilated. As we've got the excellence, we've got the Napa leather. This is a lovely blue colour. Could also go for black. Reach and rake in the steering wheel, and it's 6'3". What's that? Even with a panoramic, I've got, it's about 2 inch where the panoramic is and about 1 inch here. And no worries if you're Annabelle's height, because there's a fair bit of height adjustment too. So you can find the perfect position, including a big footrest on the left-hand side. This little thing, yeah, it's not everybody's cup of tea. But to be honest, it's there for safety, so it's not supposed to be like that. It'll monitor you and make sure you're keeping your eyes on the road. But it doesn't overly aggressively start kicking off when you're looking the wrong way for, say, a second. So don't worry about that. I think that's about your lot. Let's take a look in the back. I almost forgot. This is excellent. So it's like a flipper from a Sealion. You've also got adjustable seatbelts and some map reading lights. Also mirror. The list is endless. Now there's a number of colours to choose from, and a metallic finish will cost you around £1,100. From the side with its 20-inch wheels, it's got a real presence, especially when you see the red calipers and the quad piston disc brakes. It stops as well as it goes. With this sloping roofline, it's got to take up some headroom, hasn't it? Let's find out. Nice long door, and it opens wide enough too. Yes, lovely finish in the rear. Padded areas once again. Decent door pocket, and everything finished to a high standard. Climbing in. This is mega roomy. Just look at the gap between my legs and the front seat. And yes, I can get my feet under the front seat too. Because it's an electric platform, there's obviously no transmission tunnel, so extra space. Heated rear seats on all trims. I mean, that says something in itself. Map reading lights, and yes, we've got a grab handle above every door, bar the driver's. Sealion 7 also boasts the largest panoramic in its segment, and the amount of light it lets in is fantastic. But even with the blind closed and these dark sunglasses, there's still a decent level of light. So it's airy, it's spacious. And just look at the gap from here to the front corner. The seats recline, and there's 2 levels. They don't slide forward, but in all honesty, they don't need to. Nice to see a decent sized door pocket. Speaker here and a speaker there. Smartphone pockets, also map reading lights up here. Pull down armrest with pop out cup holders. Look, extra storage. Now everything, well, it's premium, but it's not just the materials, it's the way certain elements move. Like there's no play, feels substantial, I suppose is the word. Pop out USBs, that's cool. And you've got your heated seats up here and some vents. Got great visibility too, the way that the seats toe in for the one-piece look. The windows could be a bit bigger, but I understand it with the way safety's going. Visibility sat like this is about here, so I don't get a chunk of roof, so that's perfect. Now, all in all, it's a great family tourer. and you've got the range to back it up. Finally, Isofix points and airbags around the vehicle. And I think that's your lot. Another flipper, awesome. Climbing out is also child's play too, because of the raised ride height, but it's not too high for, say, someone with Annabelle's height. It's what you call the Goldilocks formula. The back, sleek. Look at the curvature and the way this goes. Ducktail spoiler. So this is what they call the dual wave effect. So the air comes down and goes, and then, and it makes it more efficient, yet pulls the car down as well. It also looks mighty sporty, which is, you know, never going to fail in my book, is it? Chunky plastic bumper at the bottom. All it needs now is dual exhaust, but as it's an electric vehicle, it doesn't need them. I'm a real fan of its coupe-ish looks as well. Just look at this with all the black and the sporty spoilers. And don't forget the teardrop LED lights. And this number here, 4.5S. So yeah, this will pull 0 to 60 in around 4.5 seconds. But to be honest, I think it's a touch quicker. They're actually hinting it could be closer to 4. Charging. As we've got top of the range, this will charge at 230 kilowatts. So that means 10 to 80% in around 25 minutes. If you go for the comfort and the design, the charging rate does drop off a bit, but it's still 180 kilowatts. So that's not too bad. It'll also home charge and Type 2. It features V2L, so you could charge your bike with it. You could run a coffee machine, and that's anything up to 3.3 kilowatt. That's a real looker. You've also got a rear camera and parking sensors. Let's take a look in the boot. We also get a power tailgate. Look at this, BYD wrapped everything. So you've got your charging cables and anything else you could need. Fractional boot lip. Look at this, a proper release. Tethering hooks, rear light, and even a speaker there. Netted area and a pull-out load cover. It staggers me the quality of these speakers too. Let's have a look under the floor. So the floor fully lifts out, and that is a massive storage area. Decent sized boot, and you quite easily get, say, 2 to 3 months worth of shopping in there and a few suitcases. Let's take a look under the bonnet. To release, just pull. You have to reach a fair bit in. No latch, you just lift. And yes, struts. And more than that, a frunk. Quite easily get your charging cables in there, or maybe an overnight bag. Easy to see where you top up fluid as well. Okay, I think it's time to see how it drives. Ooh, lively. The thing is, we're likely quicker than that, but we can't make a noise like that, obviously. So yes, welcome behind the wheel of the Sealion. Now, luckily, we're not as low as the Bavarian in front. The crackles and pops, and we silently just crawl past, knowing that we could actually annihilate that likely in a straight line. Because yes, this is running around 530 brake horsepower. And we've got dual motors. So one at the front and one at the rear. And it is quick. So much so, I have to be rather careful. Very pliable suspension, which is... Is it going? Nope. Good brakes, as proven.
Exactly, but you want it to stop as well as it goes.
Oh yeah. But no, for a family SUV, for a start, it's reasonable value. It's got a great range.
A lot of car for the money.
And it's spacious, practical, tech-loaded, and ticks all the boxes, doesn't it? And considering its size, it's still dynamic and agile. Perfect on A roads, B roads, and motorways. I mean, just listen to that. Exactly. Also, they've gone to town with the refinement as well, so it's far quieter than a lot of vehicles in its segment. But even on motorways, it's got low decibels of like ambient sound and powertrains and so on. It's agile, it's nimble, and like I mentioned, it's not particularly a small SUV.
But it feels very, very, as you said, nimble.
Yeah.
It's smooth. I found it very smooth to drive.
Well, that's it with the electric powertrain. It doesn't wheel spin either, and you would expect it to with all those horses under its bonnet. I mean, just look at them all there. The glorious BYD vehicles. Corners, well, nice weighty steering, and just a joy to drive, really. Lots of safety, lots of tech, and if you've noticed, it doesn't particularly nag either. It'll give you a warning, and it'll highlight things that are really important, but other than that, it's not constantly bings and bongs. They're also softer as well, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you get more chime.
And even with 20-inch wheels, it's a nice ride. With its raised ride height, you don't really need to slow down for speed humps. And these are quite brutal.
The economy on it is fantastic. The rapid charging is amazing.
It's an impressive SUV. I mean, obviously we'll have to get it for a road trip to give you our full verdict, but just driving around the Milton Keynes area, it's enjoyable, it's dynamic enough considering its size, it's also that bit different. All in all, it's a great drive, isn't it?
Oh, it's fantastic.
That's
I really
it.
can't see us doing a long haul road trip in this.
Nice and easy to see the cluster, everything's straightforward, you've got the heads-up display, also nice weighty steering, but it's not surprising when you look at the suspension system. Everything from the wishbones through to independent suspension. It just amalgamates the best of vehicles, doesn't it really?
And there you have it, the Sealion 7 from BYD. Thanks for joining us.